Hey you guys, how's it going? It's your boy Dylan McLaughlin here. Just giving you a quick overview of my portfolio and kind of my life story, which we tastefully decided to name 5 years, 4 properties, 0 job. A 20-year-old's guide to early.
What is up, you guys? Matt here. Oh, everyone thinks it's weird when I got my hat on backwards. Anyways, so as you kind of saw there in that little tease, today's video is going to be with my good buddy Dylan McLaughlin. You maybe remember him from way back when I first started my channel. He was on a few of my videos. But essentially, Dylan's just been crushing it, particularly with student rental properties. He's been able to build up a great cash flowing portfolio of properties, and it's kind of a unique investing strategy where he's literally just been targeting great cash flowing deals. And so again, another great example of a young hustler out there that's just absolutely crushing it here in London, Ontario in this case. And yeah, anyways, Dylan's going to break down for you exactly how he acquired all of the different properties in his portfolio and how he got to the point where at, I think he's 25, that he needs not a single employment dollar of income. So I'm super excited to be bringing this video to you guys. It's just another great example of the awesome speakers that we're going to have at OREC 2018. And so I know you're sick of me talking about OREC 2018. But I mean, like, bro, have you even bought your ticket yet? And so Dylan's going to be talking about student rentals as well as talking about wholesaling real estate at OREC 2018. So you're definitely going to want to attend. And again, all the information, video description down below. Just get your ticket now. Do me a huge favor. Use that coupon code McKeever, all lowercase, so that we can beat Jeff Weibo in the race to sell the most OREC tickets. You guys have heard me say it before, and I'm not joking. We can't let Jeff win. He will never let us live it down. It would just be unbearable. I'll have to drop off of YouTube if I don't beat him in the sales race. So buy your ticket. Only $75 for a 2-day event. It's fantastic. Anyways, enough of me rambling on about how amazing OREC's going to be. Let's just get into the amazing video with Dylan. I forgot how words work, guys. I'm so excited to bring you Dylan's video. Let's do it.
Hey guys, it's your boy Dylan McLaughlin here. Just giving you a insider preview into some exclusive raunchy portfolio porn, as we like to call it here on Matt McKeever's channel. Another way to title my portfolio and my story is basically 5 years, 4 properties, and 0 job. By the fact that my simple portfolio of merely 4 properties, actually 3.5 if you count my JV, allowed me to receive $1,000 per week positive cash flow. And that's not including appreciation, that's not including mortgage pay down. And $1,000 per week, back when I got into this game when I was about 20 years old, that was a huge number for me. That was really a big milestone of financial freedom, because $1,000 per week, you can almost look at that like a job. And I can tell you that managing 4 properties, it does take some work and there are some busy times, but it's nowhere near the amount of time requirement that a full-time job would take. So without further ado, I'll kind of break down the individual deals in my portfolio. We can kind of go through that. And especially for the younger viewers maybe watching this, I hope this serves as motivation and inspiration for how you can achieve your own portfolio. Because like I said, guys, it really took actually less than 5 years to build this up, and it wasn't a crazy amount of work, and it was done very conventionally without a massive amount of starting capital or crazy real estate knowledge. Like, I started doing this when I was 20, and so made some mistakes along the way, but my portfolio's evolved pretty nicely and I'm still able to enjoy good returns from it. So without further ado, my first deal here in 2014 was on Hansel Street. This property, I was purchasing it to move out of my parents' house. It was a perfect house hack situation. I had a really comfortable 2-bed and then an upper 3-bed I could rent to students. The 2-bedroom unit was comfortable to live in by myself if I wanted to, or I could have a significant other living there, or I could have a roommate and charge extra rent and even actually profit more off that property. So with this property, I purchased it at $217,000. I did 20% down in order to extend the amortization rate of the mortgage, which means that I have longer to pay it off, which means that maybe I'm paying more interest on my mortgage, but it increases my cash flow, which was the whole point of this property. Back then, I didn't really understand the concepts of leverage and refinancing and all these crazy things, but I did know one thing. I wanted good cash flow and I wanted this to make sense and benefit me in my future. So that was my first deal that I got into. It was a great deal. I had minimal renovations, just a little bit of flooring, a little bit of paint, stuff like that. And currently the value would probably be around $275,000. I kind of rounded the values to an approximation. Potentially with a sale, I might end up getting less because of sale fees and everything like that, being taxed on the sale. But these are pretty good approximations of the market value of all my properties. So $275,000 is kind of what it's at now, thanks to the appreciation over the years, and just a little bit of cleaning it up myself. So with that being said, After that, I kind of got my bearings, and I realized this real estate thing was powerful. That's when I really decided, okay, I want to do a bigger deal. I want to do a better deal. I want to really maximize the amount of money. I was starting to get some courage. And so that comes to deal number 2, 1519 Howland. So this deal was a bank sale that was listed. I jumped on it day one, got a screaming deal off of it back in 2016. I was trying to buy a property the next year. This kind of was a year and a half before this deal actually ended up coming up. Bought it as a bank sale for $202,000. It was rough when I got it, but not structurally, just cosmetically. Had a lot of boys living there, like 6-bedroom student rental. It was a messy situation. But anyways, I ended up buying it. I actually spent some time living there while I renovated it and was able to bring up the value significantly because it was in a good area and had a beautiful layout. So by just redoing all the finishes and making it look pretty, I was able to only spend $20,000 because like new kitchen, all new flooring, all paint, all new fixtures in the bathrooms as well. New roof on the back, tons of little things as well. And I was able, now currently that same property would be worth around $300,000. So huge value add on this one. I did do a high ratio mortgage on that, so I don't have a huge amount of equity right now. But once again, that deal was probably one of my best deals. It was right before the market really took off. Everything was cleaned up with, I got a great deal on it. And yeah, the numbers reflect that. The current rent I'm getting at the property is close to $3,000, and it equals out to about $1,200 per month in cash flow when all expenses are paid. That's not quite including management as well as CapEx or maintenance fee, but I will address that later on at the bottom in terms of my whole portfolio. So then after that, I kind of got 2 deals under my belt. The last one went fantastically well. A lot of people said I couldn't do it. A lot of the naysayers and the haters, oh, why are you doing real estate? But that was really proof of the pudding that the value can be there when you work hard. At the time, it wouldn't have appraised for 300, but even then I got it reappraised shortly after for around 260. So I knew that the value was there and I made all my money back on the deal. So I was excited, guys. I was ready to keep the ball rolling and go on to my next one. And that highlights 1504 Howland. So this was another deal I found. This was actually a private deal that I found off market on the exact same street, the exact same style property. So I already knew what I was getting myself into. It definitely needed a lot of work, so I knew I needed to gut and update the whole thing, especially the basement was chopped up in a weird way. So it was gonna be a bigger project, but once again, I built up some confidence with my initial wins, and I had some cash flow too backing me now because my other 2 properties were cash flowing nice and healthy. So getting into my 3rd deal, I took some time off. I bought it at 217, which is kind of the same as my first property, ironically enough. And then I put about 30,000 into renos. Now guys, I tried to do a really lean reno. At the time I was doing a lot of the work, I was swinging the hammer, sourcing all the deals myself. So I did come in a little lean on my reno budget, but got a really premium finish, have premium quartz countertops, tile backsplash, nice premium property, premium porcelain, 2-foot tile. And there's a lot of benefit in that. Now going through it and actually having done more premium renos as opposed to having kind of just more of the lipstick flips, I do see the value in the premium. It's a lot easier to rent out, and in certain areas you can charge a premium of rent. So that being said, this property would now reappraise at 325 pretty conservatively. I've seen sales go for that or more for lesser product. And I'm getting really great numbers on it because in that area, these are all student rentals, all in a similar student area. And I find that students and parents are willing to pay that extra money because when you have multiple bedrooms, increasing the rent per bedroom is only a small amount, but it's multiplied by 5 or 6 people. So just a small tweak in rent, people don't mind paying an extra $25 maybe for a killer location and just a sparkly, beautiful, modern property. And you're gonna just get the extra cash flow. So it's worth it in that area. So with that area, I'm now making over $3,000 per month gross, and my cash flow is about $1,500 per month from that property. This one as well, I also financed with 20% down, and I did a longer mortgage term to improve my cash flow. So that's why these 2 properties have a different cash flow number because the expenses are a bit higher as well, even though the purchase price is lower on this one. Finally, while I was wrapping this deal up actually, a friend of mine had another deal that he was looking to do, and it was in the area that I specialize in, the student rental area, and that's this one on 32 Wistow. And this one I'm actually partnered up with another investor. A lot of you guys might know him, Michael Rosehart, the frugal mongrel as we like to call him. And that property he ended up purchasing because I was close by the area. I could help him with management, I could help him with renovations, I could help do a lot of the day-to-day stuff. So we decided to go into a 50-50 partnership, where I basically put down half the deposit funds, he put down half the deposit funds. We both split the renovation costs, And then now we both own 50% of this property and we receive 50% of the cash flow from the property. In the event that we decide to sell the property or refinance it, once again, we'll split the proceeds like that, 50-50. Very nice, clean way to structure your JVs. Easy to do. We have it all written under documentation, but once again, and another thing is he is a personal friend of mine as well as a business contact. So a guy like that, I would be totally comfortable doing deals with. And that's why it's really important to build up your network with other guys you can trust, that you admire. Because at the end of the day, both of us would be able to have this deal go successfully. So now when you bring both of us together, it's just great. It's great to have somebody to talk to when problems arise, you're facing issues. It's great to have that support. And yeah, so that one's been great. So that deal we got for 170, actually maybe even slightly under 170. Then about 15,000 into renovations. Needed a new kitchen downstairs, as well as the downstairs had to be refinished. There wasn't a huge space. We did that up and then cleaned up the rest of the house kind of strategically. Quartz countertops, some premium finishes, but also keeping things nice and clean. And now that property would probably sell for 275,000, which is a nice big jump, guys. Basically almost $100,000 jump. And we had minimal renovations into it, and we're able to flip it around quickly and get it rented out. That one is a cash flow beast. It is actually a semi-detached property, so you're paying less on insurance, and you're paying less on utilities because it's sharing the space and the real estate with another half of the building. So the expenses are super, super cheap on it, but the rent is almost just as high because you're in that good student area where you can constantly fill vacancies. So once again, that one's about 2,750, 2,740 to be exact. And the cash flow on that, believe it or not, is around $1,600 a month, guys. Like $1,600 a month, right? That's pretty impressive. If you can do a deal where you're cash flowing $1,600 per month, that's gonna make you pretty happy. And once again, that gives you the margin to JV on it, because both of us are receiving about $800 per month cash flow from this one property alone. So that's enough to keep both of us happy. And when things come up, it's worth our time to fix it because we're definitely getting compensated for our time there. So anyways, this is the kind of general overview of the 4 deals that comprise of my portfolio right now. I do have other money invested in other ventures and other things tied up in real estate, but in terms of holdings, this is what I got. And so basically, my main focus when I started investing, and still one of my main focuses, is cash flow. Because cash flow is what's going to allow you that freedom and really change your lifestyle. Sure, net worth is a precursor to cash flow in many senses because you can invest your net worth into different investments. But once again, one of the benefits of real estate is finding and pushing these cash flow investments forward, getting these massive ROIs. Some of these deals like Howland, where I put 5% down, I'm over affinity ROI because I put 5% down, and then once I was done the renovations, I could refinance it. So I was able to recycle money from these properties as well as have equity sit. So once again, it gives you a lot of flexibility. With that being said, going back to the cash flow, before I get off the rails, basically the gross cash flow of all the properties is over $10,000 per month. So about $11,090, kind of averaged out amongst the main expenses, which leaves about $4,500 per month in cash flow from my portfolio. Now, once again, as you'll remember earlier, I didn't include the vacancy and CapEx, or like renovation cost, in some of my cash flow numbers. That's because it's way too variable. Considering some of my premium properties, I've literally had to do like barely any work on them over the past year. Some of them are just in really clean shape. My CapEx, my vacancy has been 0 for my entire 5 years investing in real estate. That's partially due to hustle and due to student rentals. Now, I would probably have to take a little bit of a loss in terms of my cash flow if I hired out my property management. But right now, guys, like I'm telling you, it's like a part-time job and not even a difficult one. I would say maybe like once a week I have a couple of responsibilities to look through in terms of either spreadsheets or phone calls. And then maybe once or twice a month, I actually have to grab my tools, get to the property, clean some things up, and actually push things forward. Not a very busy, time-consuming venture, and considering the amount of money I'm making from it, it's well worth it. So once again, basically per month, $4,500. Even to make numbers really simple, I'll assume that I'm paying myself $500 per month to be my manager, which is a large amount to be paying out. But at the end of the day, that leaves me with $1,000 per week cash flow. So even with all these crazy expenses, if I wanted to get crazy and was paying to fix everything and had the management outsourced out, I would still be comfortably making $1,000 per week with my properties, money in my pocket. And that's not even including appreciation and not including mortgage pay down, where all these larger mortgages are actually getting paid down, and that's kind of going into my net worth every month as well. So anyways, that kind of gives you a brief summary of the 20-year-old blueprint or path to freedom. 4 properties done in 5 years and 0 job at the end. Now, after this, you can still work a job. Nothing's telling you not to, but by having this freedom built into your life with this nice, big, juicy cash flow number and not a huge amount of headaches with properties, you're able to very easily have the freedom to jump on other opportunities, which is something I've been experimenting a lot more with recently. Anyways, though, guys, if you like what you see here and you have any questions about my portfolio, feel free to reach out to either myself or even Matt. Remember to click like and subscribe. I have to remember to say that for the channel. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure sharing my information, and take care. All the best, investors.
So that was epic, right? I mean, Dylan is absolutely crushing it, and I love his energy level. You're definitely gonna see him more on my YouTube channel, but also we finally got him started on social media. So hit him up on Instagram. I'll put a link to his profile down below. And otherwise, smash that like button if you enjoyed this video. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to my channel, and definitely check out the other videos YouTube wants you to check out. And until next time, remember, making money is a team sport. There's more than enough money in this world for us to all make it, but if you're not saving it, I mean, like, what's the point, guys? Thanks. Bye. Yeah, this intro is a little rushed just because I'm still in the process of moving, guys. There's shit everywhere still. Look at that. Shit everywhere. All that shit's gotta get unpacked. And I don't have a staff to unpack my shit, so I'm gonna have to do it. So, I hope you enjoyed this video.